What's going on, everyone? It is late August already. I think today is August like 29th or something like that. And tonight I've got two goals that I'm trying to accomplish here. First one is I'm going to be scouting for some squirrel sign, and I'm also scouting for deer, because here in Minnesota the small game opener and our archery for deer opener happens to be on the same day. And if you want to be successful, you gotta get out and do some scouting first. So that's what I'm trying to get done tonight. So stay tuned, and we'll see if we can find some squirrel sign and some deer sign. That's a good sign. There's a squirrel right there. Alright, so obviously the first thing you gotta look for is a patch of woods or a forest that has the trees that produce the fruits or nuts that the squirrels eat. And I know that this area here has a bunch of oak trees, but I'm trying to look for a white oak or a hickory tree, hickory nut. This one here happens to be a red oak. You can see that the tips of the leaves are pointy or sharp, and I think that squirrels will eat the white oaks before they eat the red, so I'm gonna look for a white oak. I don't know if it's just this year, but some years there are just a ton of acorns. This year I don't see too many acorns on the trees, so that might say that the deer or the squirrels will be feeding at a certain tree that has a lot more acorns compared to the other ones. So that's another clue. Some of these trees here, I only see like 1 or 2 acorns hanging off the branches here. So if you find a tree that has a ton of acorns, that's going to be the spot. There's a squirrel. They're feeding on this red oak. They're feeding really hard on these red oaks. There's 2 of them on top of me here. There's a little baby squirrel. We'll let him grow. When you're out sitting around waiting for squirrels, you gotta listen for the sounds that they make when they're feeding. And you're watching for the treetops to be moving like that. They'll be making a bunch of noise up on the treetops up there, trying to grab the acorns. And by them doing that, they're dropping acorns on the ground and they're moving the leaves up there. So when you're sitting on a log or something waiting for squirrels to show up, you gotta keep your eyes and your ears peeled and just listen. A lot of times will give their position by all the noise that they make. But you can see they're way up there. Alright, here's another tip when you're out looking for some squirrel sign, is you want to look for a squirrel nest. And although it's unethical to shoot squirrels or shoot into the nest, because if you shoot into the nest and there's a squirrel in there, you might just kill it and you won't harvest the squirrel. So you don't want to shoot into the nest, but it is a good sign because that means that there's a squirrel that lives in this area and it lives right there in the nest. And you'll see these nests that are built out of twigs and leaves up in the crooks of the branches up there. Another way to tell if they're feeding in a certain area is whether it's acorn or hickory nuts or pecans or walnuts or whatever, you'll find all these casings that are all around the base of the tree. So this is also what you want to look for. It's gonna look something like this. I don't see too many acorns on the ground, so I don't think the acorns are dropping yet, so they're still feeding in the treetops. But this is what you will find on the ground. There's a doe and a fawn over there. Alright guys, this is going to be it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope these tips help you guys find some squirrels this fall.